Hello and welcome back to another 1v1 in Red Resurrection. We have two players with alarmingly similar colours. It's going to be confusing. With Asylum here in the top as the Orange United Kingdom, or the very bottom in fact, so totally mistaken, and Admiral Pitt as the brown Confederation player at the top. And this is on the map Pipeline Problem, which we recently were graciously given by Speeder from Mental Omega. So if you played the map there, it's pretty similar. We've got an airfield and oil derrick in the top right and bottom right for each player. There's the gems to the top left and bottom left. Another oil derrick. Down here, some army tents here to garrison. And there's just an artillery bunker in the middle. So you have to manually expand to the middle here, but you do get some protection here. And there's also a machine shop in between the player bases and some bunkers, which it looks like Asylum is going straight for the bunkers. Or he's going to actually probably deploy them here, because the bunkers don't obviously cover the middle section here. No, he's going to go for the bunker. Load of conscripts here from Pitt. Maybe going to garrison this. Oh no, he's going to go straight to the derrick there that he's already captured. There are some gems here too. Of course, this is a remake of a Tiberian Wars map, that I think makes for nice 1v1s. It looks like Asylum is going straight for the machine shop. And just lots of conscripts. In fact, no. Oh no, we do have an ore refinery, a late one, but he has gone from Admiral Pitt, a late one, but he has gone straight for the gems by expanding with the barracks and the Tesla reactor, so that's good forethought. And there is quite a buffer of money at the beginning of the game, so you don't need to desperately go for resources immediately. You can delay it, and definitely the gems will recover any loss for a later refinery. Asylum didn't do that, however, though, just gone for the regular ore, and already we can see he has less money, but he's got a war factory and he is building robot tanks. Looks like he's going to try and stop these dogs from scouting. Let's see if Pitt has a war factory as well. Nothing coming out of there just yet. Asylum hasn't captured his oil derrick or airport, but Pitt has done that and garrisoned a little Portaloo outpost toilet thing. Not an outpost, outhouse. Got some scorchers here. One of them is in fact damaged, so it must have been fighting something that I totally missed. I'm the greatest observer. Probably these IFVs, in fact, so he's nearly took out this paraplane, which is going to drop conscripts here, and he can garrison the bunker. Yeah, he will get there in time, presumably, with something. There are a lot of conscripts. Going to garrison this bunker, and that's going to keep Asylum away from these tech buildings for a fair while. Even these IFVs are probably going to die. Yep, that's an unfortunate loss of control there. Pitt making a great decision, and that is because he captured this airfield early, so he was able to actually use it already to get some territorial advantage. Going for a lot of scorchers with conscripts inside, which transforms them into the rocket launcher, which is good against buildings. And he's expanding forward as well with the barracks. I mean, that's I guess a reasonable distance gained with that. Oh, but he's running straight into into that bunker. Took some damage, didn't lose anything. Does in fact have an engineer scorcher as well, which can repair vehicles. And he's going to go for the machine shop. Don't see any defense. In fact, Asylum really doesn't have a whole lot. So that most likely will go down. Yeah. Asylum just building some more IFVs. Oh no, and Pitt is in fact taking out the airfield and the oil derrick, so they can never be captured. These engineers are going to have to find something else to do. Pitt has already captured the artillery bunker there in the middle. Another paradrop plane. Where is this going to go? And the Scorchers have ran into the middle of his base as well. Are they going to actually take anything out though? They do take out the power plant. Looks like that might be it, just causing some havoc and reactionary defensive action. Keeping those IFVs busy. And they escape. Two of them escape anyway. Used again, we have a conscript drop here. At the very least scouting out the gem field and that it isn't being touched by Asylum at all, but he could also move out and perhaps do some damage to one of these buildings, especially if something vulnerable gets built back there. Now we have a bunch of terror drones shift away from Scorchers to a few terror drones, a couple of hammer tanks, and some Rykovs anticipating air attacks. Of course, he did see that Asylum has the airfield, and also Nighthawk. Nighthawks are, of course, open-topped transports in this mod, so they can infantry inside can fire out, but they are very flimsy. Something was constructed there. Probably another barracks, because 3 barracks, why not? A big wall of barracks is across the entire middle of the map. It's a rather interesting choice. I'm not exactly sure where he's trying to go with that, but it looks pretty cool. Nighthawk going to be going around the side here, trying to do some harassment. I guess has just seen this oil derrick at least, so he's going to go and capture it here with one of these engineers and the IFVs. So we have some damage here. The Rykovs are trying to move to intercept the Nighthawk, and they are going to succeed, so he has to pull back now. Most likely, because they do not last long. Oh, but the well, 2 Guardian GIs and a SAS Commando survived. Not for very long. The SAS replaced the SEAL for the UK, and slightly more expensive, slightly stronger, and they can throw their C4 charges small distance. So, and they can in fact do that outside of Nighthawks and other open top transports as well, unlike the SEAL. So that does give them another use. The Lightning here needs to get the hell out of there though. There's a lot of flak cannons, a lot of flak troopers. That will go down. No time at all. Got some Sukhoi here. Very good against buildings. For Admiral Pitt. Asylum building a nice little force of IFVs. Nice and versatile. Admiral Pitt actually running low on money because he did harvest all those gems, but he has used it to build up a pretty decent base. He's not on tier 3 just yet though, but he does have a nuclear reactor. And the ops tower, let's see, Asylum is also still on T2. And there's a whole lot of ore refineries and miners. Now he's going to go for those gems. And I think... oh yeah, I just heard that. He's going to go... he's finally got the Intel complex. And just exactly the same time as Pitt has also gone for the tech center. So they are equal on tech, but I think Pitt is in a slightly more better defended position. Got loads of barracks, a couple of war factories, so it's pretty safe. Asylum's base, on the other hand, is open to attacks, particularly maybe another Scorcher assault could quickly take out the arsenal and maybe the Intel complex, because they're pretty vulnerable. So we'll see if that happens. There are some Scorchers here, and that looks like what he's going to do is go for a couple of Grinders. Grinders are melee tanks that recover HP when they're attacking enemies. And they also have 4 infantry slots, and he's in fact putting, he's put some flamethrower infantry, which are unique to the Confederation, inside the Grinders. Asylum is moving out here with his IFVs, because there is a large force gathering next to the artillery bunker, but that's going to be difficult to engage. especially with all these Tesla troopers, and basically just a lot of anti-tank there. So this, you know, especially since IFVs are a light force, that's going to be pretty difficult. We have a gap generator out, covering a small part of his base. You can deploy that though to get a super radius. Grinders haven't yet to do anything, but Admiral Pitt is building siege choppers now, which are the siege unit for the Confederation, unique to those guys. Got a couple of we've got a terahertz tank, which is an anti-tank, primarily anti-tank vehicle that will EMP them and maintain EMP on the targeted tank. That's unique to the UK, and also the Penguin artillery, which is pretty old and you know, somewhat iconic unit for this mod, I think, but is now UK only. That's their artillery and anti-infantry unit. These tanks here with the little red X are actually fake tanks. The UK can call in decoy tank drop. And they're very useful for gathering fire. It looks like Asylum has just gone in headfirst and in fact overpowered Admiral Pitt. These siege choppers will not last too long, and he's moving on. Going to pull that Nighthawk back, which is very good control there, save it from the flat cannon. Going to take out a miner, but he's running for his life from this demo truck because they are pretty deadly against units. Although it looks like it was perhaps trying to sneak around, or wasn't directly controlled. We have the flamethrowers from the grinders, took out the intel complex, which is fantastic. But these grinders here, as you can see, are being stopped by the terahertz tanks. EMP'd by those guys. Can I get another building? Seems... wow! Fantastic. So you got a power plant there that was also upgraded, I think. So that's going to be pretty significant destruction. And also got the intel complex. So he's back down to T2. So no more penguins and terahertz for him for a while. Asylum moving forward, taking on the bunker, is unfortunately taking damage, and also took a full drop from 4 Sukhoi, which destroyed, well, damaged the vehicles and did destroy all those decoy tanks. And now he's going to have to run for his life from this demo truck, but it did get taken out by the bunker. So Pitt has pushed him back. He did do a little bit of damage, but not really to Pitt's base, so I would say Admiral Pitt is in a favourable position after that. Could build some more stuff though, and this here, as you can see, is a fake nuclear reactor, which is another thing. Confederation can build fake structures, and there are a number of options. I think the oil refinery, the war factory, nuclear reactor, construction yard, and also the nuclear missile silo. So they can be very good distractions as well. A few extra options for kind of subterfuge and espionage tactics in this mod. And the UK and Confederation are perhaps the have the most of those in both of the two factions. These Ivans got hit by a Penguin artillery shot there, but did manage to escape. And they do get slowed down for a short time because the Penguin does fire sort of cryo shells that slows down units for a bit. Asylum moving, he's got a nice quick army here, but we do have a terror drone that managed to get inside an engineer IFV, and there isn't another one, so he has to kill it off. And as you can hear, these terror drones do also have Ivan bombs attached, so it will explode when killed as well. He's going to try and take those out, but they're moving, and going to go straight in head first, do some damage. It looks like Asylum used the combat drugs special ability on these infantry, which increases their speed and firepower for a few seconds. Well, for maybe 45 seconds to a minute, I'm not sure. And it's a very powerful thing for the Allies. All of the Allies get that. The Tesla troopers are wisely going straight for the tanks though and avoiding the infantry to make maximum use of those, which is really good. We have a grinder tank going in, taking out those infantry. All he has to do is take out the Guardians, and that grinder will do pretty good, but he is going to get EMP'd by the terahertz. And Pitt did just lose his outpost as well, so he can no longer expand around this area. The outpost with the repairing there can actually be built about 25 cells away for the Soviets, so it's a very powerful expansion tool, unlike the Allied service crane, which needs to be placed right next to your base but has a larger radius. Some more Tesla troopers coming out. It looks like Admiral Pitt is actually really desperate for money, which is quite surprising after his initial expansion, but ouch. And he did lose 3 of the 4 Sukhoi, which is not that great, and they are mostly, they're not very good against tanks, they're mostly good against buildings and infantry. And he did lose the fake nuclear reactor there. Let's see, how is Asylum even making all this money? I guess it's going to slow down now because they're running dry here. Maybe should expand into the middle, or for the gems on the left, but he's moving forward. He does also have, Pitt does have another fake war factory here, that is going down. Not losing too much though. Oh no, but Asylum did lose a Nighthawk there, really unnecessarily, because he could just destroy this flat cannon. But he has chosen not to. Looks like this might actually be the end for Admiral Pitt, as he doesn't have any units left. As he is totally out of money. Actually, I'm totally incorrect. I thought this was Asylum's force just because of the Terahertz tank, but it's not. It was hijacked by Pitt with a saboteur. And Asylum is trying to kill that tank desperately. Not allowed to have it. Does manage to get it. Oh, we have a Tupolev here. Might not be a bad choice. Takes out both those IFVs. But he is going to lose a war factory to these infantry. Not a whole lot of anti-infantry here for Admiral Pitt. Going to go for the Ivan though if he can get close. Unfortunately didn't get anywhere near. And all these units kind of getting gunned down. The grinder tank will get taken out pretty quickly by anti-tank units, of which there are many in this area. There's some SAS coming forward. Another Tupolev shot on the robot tank, doing nice damage to all of these units. He's gonna take out these robot tanks with Ivans. And we have a paradrop here at the back as well, which is not bad. Unfortunately, those Terahertz are just disabling all those grinders. He's gonna get a Tupolev shot on the Terahertz, gonna kill one of them, gonna kill the second one as well. We have a saboteur here, moving forward. He is disguised now and he's gonna go for one of these. Will Asylum spot it in time? Don't think so. Nope. Gets inside the Terahertz. He's going to disable that one and kill it off in no time at all. So this is a really desperate defense here, but he might be able to pull it off for a while. Yeah, so he has held, and he has a little bit of money in the bank now. So he can start to spend. He should probably try to expand, build an outpost from here, or just a refinery and expand and get those gems. No one has yet tried to tap into those. That's a great source of money on this map. There is damage down here, which I may have missed something, unless that was from earlier. Asylum has run out of steam a bit, and he is low on money as well, so that was a good hold. And now Pitt is moving forward with a Tupolev. Probably going to try and take out these penguins, I would imagine, but they are defended by a lot of Guardian GIs, and he can't really afford to lose this. Let's see what he does. And he's just looking around, looking for a target. Oh, but we do have a battle fortress. A couple of grinders here, though, trying to take out some of these chronominers. But of course, they can just teleport away, even if they are caught in the clutches of these machines. We have one battle fortress moving forward, and a safeguard here, a sentinel placed in the middle of the map there. A couple of battle fortresses. This may just be enough to swing it, even though it's not a whole lot of units. They can be very powerful, of course. I'm not sure if he's put anything in them, I don't think he has. Oh, and there was a shot here, but this is going to get taken out by these grinders. And an Ivan, but he should run away now. It will get destroyed, I think, by the Ivan bomb. Oh, and in fact nearly takes out a penguin as well. Let's see what are these battle fortresses going to do. Still no one going for the gems. Ooh, a couple of sneaky saboteurs here. One of them's been pulled back. He probably wants to try and capture a vehicle with that. And we have 3 Tupolevs moving out. Is he going to go for the miners? I think that's a good choice. If it can kill them, I'm not sure it will. The miners are pretty resistant to these things. It does in fact damage the building as well. When oh wow, fraction of HP left there. Unlucky, but it is a good idea to go for these miners because they are both strapped for cash. Interesting, like a siege chopper there, just taking the high ground. And we have a decimator mech here being dropped from Asylum, which means that he must be building or has Spanner, which is the unique hero infantry for the UK, and she is in fact a mechanic. She can throw wrenches at enemy units to do some damage, and that mine is going to get taken out. Presumably it just died almost instantaneously. But yeah, anyway, the Spanner, the infantry, hero infantry for the UK, can throw wrenches to do some damage, but can also deploy to repair vehicles in a decent radius. So she's kind of a support hero, but she can uniquely operate this mech that the UK can power drop in for a small price. She can passenger this and operate it, and does give her an offensive edge and also quite nice mobility. What do we have here? Terrorhus trying to take out this little tent. Is that Admiral Pitts? It is, in fact. You can barely tell from the fairly similar colours there when they're dark, but it's still Admiral Pitts. Do have a couple of scramblers here though, which will cause vehicles to kind of go berserk. They are going to get taken out though by those Tupolevs. And here we have the decimator here. Looks like it's being passengered, commandeered, and we have the hero from the Confederation, who is Dante, and he's a sniper who can kill the drivers of vehicles, and he can also deploy to spawn mines, walking mine drones that you can suicide into your enemy. He is also cloaked when he's not moving, so I have no idea where he is right now. We do have a nice safeguard here that can reach the barracks here, so he has to move. He has to change the primary construction here, and he's going to lose this Tesla reactor, Tesla coil, pretty quickly. Admiral Pitt doing something here where he is charging up the shots by force firing on the ground, because these are Blitzer tanks, which are the T3, T4 in fact, tanks for the Confederation. Primarily good against vehicles. This decimator is not going to last long. And there's Spanner, and she dies instantly, so not the best play for her there, but there's just so much here that I don't think that Admiral Pitt can do anything. He did call in an artillery barrage though, but it looks like everything's moved out of the way. Just took out a couple of infantry. Everything getting Tupolev'd, but the battle fortresses will survive. They're very well armoured. And I think this is pretty much the end here. Victory is most likely going to go to Asylum as the UK. Battle fortresses actually have won a match, something we haven't seen a whole lot in the mod, but they are pretty powerful. They do have this magnetic beam that can pull vehicles towards them as well. I think something was commandeered though. That battle fortress managed to get hijacked by a saboteur. Of course, that doesn't actually change the allegiance of the infantry inside, but does the battle fortress itself. And these cryocopters can also disable power and steal money from refineries, and disable defences as well. I mean, this has got to be game over. Although we do have the firebrands here, which are cloaked infantry, Molotov throwing infantry for the Confederation. And the decimator mech moving in here. And the decimator doesn't detect apparently, but this IFV does, so he's moving that in. Firebrands are going to be taken out. They do split up, but they're going to be killed now that the detection is round, and Asylum has won.